Okay, we have caught you out. We have started early. We have started about 20 seconds early, I believe. How about that?
Better early than late, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The plot twist none of you guys were expecting this fine Wednesday morning. What can I say? This show is just full of surprises.
Yeah. We just couldn't wait to get started, so we thought we'd begin early and reward those of you who were paying attention. The Johnny-come-latelys won't know what they've missed.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Jess?
I am excellent. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm not too bad. I'm happy because crypto seems to be quite happy at the moment.
Not too bad. This man over here is a tough person to please.
I know. Well, I've been in this game for too long. That's my problem. I'm jaded and cynical.
I did see a comment from Jimmy in the chat saying markets are slowly recovering. I'm like, Jimmy, honey, we're at 70K.
It's all good.
Slowly recovering. I think we're doing pretty good.
There are some great comments already. Phil S, who was second comment of the day, said, "Bah, I thought I was going to be first. Then my life would have been complete."
Don't tell your wife you said that on a cryptocurrency live stream.
I like the idea that Phil has just ticked off all the big milestones. He's climbed every mountain. He's swum every sea. He's reached all his life goals, and there's just this one left. And Phil, you were so close. You'll have to join next week instead. It's good to see you all, folks. Thank you for joining. We'll be doing, Mean Beam Okerlund. We will be giving you a shout out from where you're from. So we'll get a shout out to everyone in Wicklow, Ireland. But we'll get to that in a bit. Vivaldi is saying ADA $10.
What a great name, Vivaldi.
Yeah, it's very classy.
Yes.
Very classy. ADA $10. Okay, I mean that's quite a stretch. It makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Jess, what if ADA did go to $10?
Yes.
What would, because I can't really see ADA holders being the sort of people to buy Lambos and buckets of champagne in the club, that sort of stuff. Like, I kind of think I don't think they're those sorts of people. What sort of nonsense would ADA holders buy if ADA went to $10?
Just to go back a second, my life is now complete because I just heard you say in the club. That's a good question. I'm thinking more down the avenue of like horses and a horse sanctuary in Wyoming, because Charles horse rides in Wyoming.
Does he? Okay, yeah.
We had a lovely Coin Bureau Club member come into the office today.
Oh yes,
and he does the horse racing and also camel racing in Dubai, which I think we should all go on a little team outing.
Okay, we'll do it. A team camel racing outing. Okay, so you reckon if ADA went to $10, then ADA holders would buy horses and horse sanctuaries
and race them around the world. They'd race them and be like, okay, Solana, give us your best horses and we'll race them. And Solana holders are going to go, we don't have any horses. And they're going to go, exactly. Losers.
We don't have any horses because we spend it all on stupid cars.
What would you get if the market just thrived?
If it just thrived.
Exploded.
I quite like the idea of a horse sanctuary now that you've put it. I mean, it's
pretty relaxing.
I like horses. I'm not wild about them, but a horse sanctuary might be nice. So you think ADA holders would buy sort of lots of very wholesome stuff?
Yeah.
I think they buy maybe they buy houses with outdoor bread ovens and things like that.
Oh, yes.
And I think they buy like old computer equipment, like old ZX Spectrums and stuff, and just geek out on all that.
Is this a dig at my Polaroid camera that I brought earlier?
Oh yeah, your D10.
What would you guys get? So actually, a little funny secret story. I'm going to tell them the massage story. So Guy is kind of speculating on what things he wants to buy this market cycle. He's adding a long list and giving it to our amazing HR team on things to buy for the office. So you did get spotted the other day and you got caught by CEO Nick with your laptop open with the, what are they called, those UV lights that help plants grow?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the indoor plants on a bit.
The office is thriving. And also you were thinking that once a week a masseuse could come in and stress relieve the team, which for me just sounds
wonderful.
Terrible. I don't know. We have a glass meeting room. I just thought it'd be a bit bizarre.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's a head massage, a shoulders massage. It's not like full on clothes off, lie on the table.
The market is getting to Guy's head. An owl bean bag was also something you were looking into.
You promised me that. You said that you were going to get an owl bean bag, and I'm still waiting for it.
Suggestions, please, guys. Drop them in the comments, and we'll try and get something. If we're going to get it signed off, You need to help us because it needs to get done soon. It can't get done in the market dips.
Yeah.
While the markets are, this is where we get the slide that goes down to the pool. You know, this is.
Got to hurry up, folks. Got to hurry up.
Time is now.
Okay, so we've got a few sort of regular viewers weighing in. Matthew Smead says, a room full of guitars for me if ADA reaches $10.
Ooh.
On Your Bike says, ADA holders would buy a cold bath and invite Charles over for a dip. I can well believe that. Cardano Green, meanwhile, says, I've always wanted a Lambo since I was 8 years old. Used to collect books and the like, but now that I'm older, what? You should be wanting to collect books now, but you still want a Lambo. Fair enough.
Also,
Fair enough.
when did Lambos come out? You must be pretty young, Mr. Cardano Green.
Yeah.
I don't think Lambos existed 80 years ago.
Oh, Lambos have existed for a long time. I think.
Really?
But, like, I don't know if they've been like a meme. So yeah. But okay, so I think we're agreed that maybe it's best if ADA doesn't go to $10 because all the ADA holders would be buying just nonsense.
I don't know. I'd like to see Cardano Green with a green Lamborghini, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you, Cardano Green.
All right.
And send us a photo. Maybe give us a lift to work once in a while because I walk in.
Why not? Meanwhile, the XRP holders would just be buying nonsense, wouldn't they? We know that. I think XRP holders would be buying sort of just aggressive, silly nonsense.
Can we not bull market shame anyone, please, Guy? Because I also know that I want to be buying nonsense this year too.
We all want to be buying nonsense, yeah.
I'd like to get a big pet cat, like a bobcat or a lynx.
Oh right, oh, like an exotic cat.
Yeah, I'm not talking like a normal cat.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you don't surely don't need a bull market to buy a cat.
I'm dreaming big, Guy.
Okay, well, that I can imagine that being an absolute disaster. You're walking around with a bobcat. Anyhow, okay, right. That's quite enough speculating on what Jess would buy. Let's have a look and let's give a shout out to where people are tuning in from. Andrew is tuning in from Los Angeles, California. Shaggy is saying GM from Virginia. Doesn't take much, does it? It doesn't take much. Juicy Waffles would buy a lifetime supply of waffles. She's lost it. I don't know what's wrong with her. Okay, and Alex Carr is hello from chilly, sunny London. Just ignore her. Just ignore her. What was it that set you off? Someone called Shaggy. Oh my word. Like I say, it doesn't take much.
No.
Okay. Hi from China. Oh, Hamid Mohammed. Hi from China. Cardano girls for me. Oh yeah, there was that Cardano girls video, wasn't there?
The TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I actually saw an article that came out about it saying, is this a new marketing kind of ploy to get Cardano kind of trending across the young Gen Z on social media?
Okay. Do you think it worked?
Well, we're talking about it. I sent the whole team the video.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah, the reaction to that on Twitter was quite funny.
Yes.
A lot of people loving it and a lot of people not loving it.
Power of social media, though, guys. If it gets ingrained in your brain, then that's the kind of social media.
Then it's worked, doesn't it? That's what it's all about. Darren Griffiths says hi from Bangkok. Ghost Pro 007 says, why are we talking nonsense? Good question, Ghost Pro. Why are we talking nonsense? Okay, Jess, let's move on. Ghost Pro 007 wants us to be serious.
Okay, we're jumping straight in.
Yeah.
Got a lot to talk about today, guys. We're going to start off taking a look at real world assets. They have been trending as of 2024. However, things started heating up pretty seriously in the last few days when none other than the big asset management firm BlackRock announced they would launch a tokenized fund on Ethereum focusing on none other than RWA. Now, this is going to be really interesting because BlackRock CEO Larry Fink actually spoke out and said the spot Bitcoin ETFs were just the stepping stones to tokenization. And this is going to lead to a whole new kettle of fish for a lot of investors. So BlackRock are opening the doors to institutional investors and people that can invest over $100,000 worth into some of the funds and assets within the tokenized asset fund.
Okay.
Yeah, really interesting.
BlackRock and Larry Fink in particular, just absolutely determined to be crypto's main character.
Yeah, absolutely. They're coming for Michael Saylor's hotspot position and really helping to push the industry forward. And no surprise, we saw some people commenting on the stream asking about RWA tokens specifically, and surprise, they gained huge momentum on the back of the news. So just to give a little bit of a breakdown, so the tokenized asset fund will be launched on Ethereum. It's going to be in partnership with a firm called Securitize and hosted on Ethereum with a ticker BUILIDL. So build, but you know, the crypto version of the word build. Biddle. Yes, absolutely. And then institutional investors will also earn US dollar returns. Do you want to hear just how much the RWA tokens pumped on the back of the news?
Oh, go on.
Let's run through it, shall we? And if any of you guys were RWA token holders and you benefited from the gains, congratulations. So since BlackRock launched are we calling it Biddle?
Biddle.
Launched the Biddle fund, PolyX increased plus 200%, Ondo 131%, True and GFI increased by over 100%.
Wow.
I know.
So RWAs is the hot narrative of maybe the week.
Of the week.
Yeah.
This is the thing is we're seeing in this kind of market cycle, AI tokens were the narrative 2 weeks ago. They were the trending thing. They were the hat tamale, and now it's RWA tokens.
Okay. What will it be next week?
We'll have to wait and see what BlackRock does. BlackRock, MicroStrategy, or Nvidia.
Yeah.
what
next.
they will decide. But it is really interesting because I think it's just showcasing that the kind of TradFi investors that have warmed up to the spot Bitcoin ETFs, have had a few months to get accustomed to it, are now looking to get in a bit more exposure into the cryptocurrency sphere. And what better brand name to do it than the likes of BlackRock?
Yeah. Do you think they're all on the phone to BlackRock, to Larry, going, Larry, I love these Bitcoin ETFs. Give me something even more degenerate. What's next, Larry?
I'm opening the charts, Larry, and I love to see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at green across the board, Larry. Let's keep it pumping. Let's keep it moving.
Larry. Give me more exposure, Larry.
And if Larry's got greedy green eyes, sorry if he's watching, I didn't mean to call them greedy green eyes, but if you are looking at the dollar signs across the board, who knows? This could be the start of many tokenized funds that we see from the likes of BlackRock. We could see one focusing on RWA. We could see one focused on, AI-related tokens. Maybe next year could be the year of a meme coin fund on a BlackRock.
That could well be on the 2025 bingo card.
I wouldn't be surprised at this rate.
You're calling it now?
I'm calling it now.
She's calling it
2025 bingo card, meme coin tokenized fund from BlackRock.
There we are. Did you run through what Biddle stands for?
No.
Give it to us.
BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund.
Okay. Now, I've got to say, I do take my hat off to BlackRock for this one, for using not an obscure, but like a slightly more niche bit of crypto jargon there, crypto lingo. I think that shows that they're paying attention.
But then I have to say, actually, all of the spot Bitcoin ETF issuers had excellent ticker names.
Yeah.
HODL.
Yeah.
We saw a few that were really crypto specific. So I think the marketing teams don't have a lot of work to do to change the narrative of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. The adverts weren't great, but the ticker names have always been very excellent. Yeah.
Well, maybe the likes of BlackRock's got a sort of degen intern. A sort of young Gen Z intern who's just been sort of like advising him. It's like, I think you should call the fund Biddle.
And he's like, you spelled build wrong. I can't believe him. Get him out of here. And he's like, no, just trust me on this one. Just trust me. Okay, boomer. Exactly.
Okay, so that's BlackRock at it again, pumping the market again, irresponsibly pumping the market. Thank you, BlackRock. Right, so that's something to watch out for. Real world asset tokenization. BlackRock's talked about this before, and Larry Fink and others have said, this is a potentially trillion-dollar, multi-trillion-dollar industry. I think there's a long way to go on this, because I was very surprised by this, that they launched this fund on Ethereum. I must say I didn't see that coming either. Because I've long assumed that these asset managers and what have you, if they are going to tokenize real world assets, they would do it on private blockchains, permission versions of Ethereum, permission versions of Solana or whatever. So I am quite surprised to see it on the public blockchain is Ethereum. So that kind of explains, I think, why our other RWA tokens went nuts, because it does open the door that maybe they will do it on public blockchains after all.
Yeah.
And just how, I mean, I don't know how the laws and, you know, things like securities laws are going to work around tokenized real world assets. But hey, I guess if there's potentially trillions of dollars in it, they will find a way to get this stuff done, won't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
And definitely, as you said, good news for Ethereum. Interesting that it's come out after the Dencun upgrade is kind of one of the like, okay, we've got this out of the way, now we can go ahead with the next announcement. So good news there.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next little bit of news, or are we going to see what the...
I just wanted to give a few more shout outs, because a few people, I didn't see all the comments where people were joining us from, but I always love reading these out. Hamid Mohammed is up to his tricks again. A moment ago, he was in China. Now he's in El Salvador. We see you, Hamid. We see you. We've got people from Boston, from Portugal, from Nicaragua, from James in Amsterdam, from Florida, from Milton Keynes, from Kenya, Nairobi, from Sandbanks, UK. From Zurich, from Wet Tunbridge Wells, from Taunton, UK, from Nicaragua again, from Cold Wales.
Oh,
there we are.
I'm sorry it's not hot Wales today for you.
I'm sorry it's not the one day of the year when Wales is hot.
3,
sorry. 3 days. Konstantin is from Romania, from Newcastle, Australia. I bet that's warmer than Newcastle, England, that's for sure. From Bulgaria, from Oslo, Norway. I'm hoping to go, Mrs. Guy and I are hoping to go to Oslo this summer. So Adrian, keep a lookout. We are very excited about that. Devon, UK. Good morning from Mr. Hippie's wife. Don't know what that means. Probably best not to ask. From Poland, Dutch Dave says, guess where I'm from? I'm going to say Morocco. Sweden. Okay. All right. Request for Jess. Please let us know when you sell your next coin so we buy before it comes.
Was this you on a ghost account?
On my alt account. No, that was Muji. Muji, don't tease Jess like that. You know she's hurting after selling all that. What was it you sold and then pumped? Let's move on.
Oh yeah, let's move on.
Okay, so what's so many? Well, I could keep reading out where people are from, but we should probably talk about crypto. We are going to talk about Kucoin.
Yes.
Are we going to talk about Kucoin now, or are we going to talk about something else now?
Let's talk about Kucoin now.
Why not?
Okay, so Kucoin. The DOJ has charged Kucoin and 2 of its founders with banking secrecy acts and also unlicensed money transition offenses.
Okay.
So this is like a pretty significant thing because, as we know, the DOJ and the US regulators in general have been coming after exchanges. And it seemed like Kucoin actually was going pretty smooth under the radar, still operating as normal. This came out yesterday, actually, while we were at our work iftar.
Yeah.
So the US has obviously, as we know, filed similar charges for other exchanges that are out there. Interestingly enough, Kucoin's main traffic comes from the United States, and it's one of the only offshore exchanges. So it's actually based, I think, it's offshore based out of Seychelles.
Right. Okay.
That has not banned American IP. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen next for the exchange.
Right.
Having a little look through, there was one thing that I found interesting that I'd like to highlight here, which is that 3 independent sources spoke to a Telegram channel and journalist platform called Wu Blockchain. Right. And they said that in 2023, Kucoin had actually considered ceasing operations and also selling over Kucoin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they considered, the founders had considered ceasing operations and selling the business?
Yes, last year.
Wow. Did it say why?
And no, they didn't say why, but Kucoin was then launched into the investigations in the US in 2023 and also has been subject to multiple investigations in China. So Kucoin's founders are from China originally. Right. So it's not clear whether, but it's slightly indicated the fact that this is something that has been building behind the scenes for quite some time. And it's only now that it's been kind of announced to the press and people are able to move forward. And if they do have accounts on Kucoin, move their funds accordingly. Yep.
I think the market took a little bit of a dip on this news, but sort of digested it pretty well.
Yeah.
Kucoin is obviously, Kucoin is an exchange that I've used a lot because it does have, it does tend to list altcoins very early. It's been very popular. So I guess, yeah, I guess obviously the market sort of digested it pretty quickly, as I said. And it doesn't seem, I mean, there have been, what is it here? A net outflow of just over $1 billion.
Yes. So I think, as you said, the market and the crypto retail users, they have taken the news pretty well. I think also based on the past 2 years of exchange founders and news regarding US regulators has really thickened the skin of a lot of people that are in the crypto sphere.
Yeah.
However, there was still some quite significant outflows, which is to be expected. However, I've not seen any issues of people having troubles with withdrawing funds or reallocating funds. So crypto assets across Kucoin have experienced net outflows of $1.195 billion, and that's in the past 24 hours. And Kucoin still holds around $4 billion in assets.
Okay. Well, folks, this is probably a very timely reminder that if you are keeping large amounts of crypto on exchanges, this is a reminder of why you shouldn't. Because it looks like, as Jess said, it looks like Kucoin is, managing those withdrawals fine. Like I say, neither of us have heard anything to the contrary. But this does show that exchanges are vulnerable and nothing beats self-custody. So this, I think, is probably a good reminder for everyone.
Yes.
If you're leaving your assets on an exchange, they are vulnerable. Even if you trust that exchange, even if that exchange has been around for a long time and does a lot of volume and is one of the bigger and more trusted exchanges. I know Kucoin sort of had its issues in the past, I think. But generally, it seems to be a pretty well-trusted exchange. So, yeah, don't keep your funds on exchanges, folks. And this is why. There was an interesting sort of add-on to this whole story. When the CFTC filed its complaint against Kucoin, it referred to both BTC and ETH as commodities. Okay. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, is one of the other big regulators in the United States, doesn't really agree with the SEC on a lot of things. And I think there's been a bit of a tug of war over the last few years between the CFTC and the SEC to see who gets to regulate crypto. And unfortunately, it seems to be the SEC at the moment, because the CFTC actually seems a lot more sort of enlightened and a bit more amenable to the industry. But unfortunately, we're stuck with Gary Gensler and his gang. Okay, so that's Kucoin. Yes, so seems to have handled withdrawals all right, but if you're storing funds on exchanges. Okay, what's next?
Well, seeing as we're on the topic of the United States and exchanges, let's roll on over nicely into FTX. So, because for those that are unfamiliar, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, will have his sentencing tomorrow. That's come around pretty quick.
Yeah. I think we all sort of forgot about him. Since his trial. There was that picture of him in jail with those sort of gangsters.
Yes.
Wasn't it? And
shout out Tiffany Fong.
Well done, Tiffany Fong. And there was this story about him telling his guards to buy Sol.
Solana.
Yeah, and obviously Sol has done pretty well in the last few months. So you've got to assume that he's kind of got it fairly cushy.
They might be sneaking in some vegan snacks for him. Well, you would think he's got it cushy. You would think that it's all set up. Polymarket has tweeted out 2 days ago how the judge in SBF's trial is about to make an absolute killing. And I've got a link here if you wanted to give it a little share. But Polymarket has had an open bet on how long Sam Bankman-Fried's sentencing will be. Which I think Twitter just kind of does troll after troll after troll, and these announcements are always kind of a little bit.
Let me see if I can share this link.
Because there has been a real divide for those that have been using FTX and waiting for funds. One of the main arguments for FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried to possibly get a lighter sentence is the fact that FTX creditors will start to be issued with reimbursements to the amount that was on the exchange at the time of the exchange getting liquidated. That's correct.
Yeah.
So rather than the amount of Ethereum, for example, that you had on, it would be the fiat the dollar equivalent of the funds. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, seeing as the markets did move pretty significantly since then.
Well, this was really interesting because when SBF's defense team sort of they sort of presented a case, and they said, well, he should get, I think it was somewhere between 5 years and 6.5 years or something stupid. And their argument was, it's like, well, customers are being made whole. It's not actually, you know, in scale, the kind of fraud that it's been made out to be, blah, blah, blah. He's autistic, etc., etc., etc. But what was really interesting was that obviously the prosecution pushed back on it. I think they're asking for, is it 40 to 50 years or 50 to 60, something like that.
Yeah.
But loads of FTX customers submitted statements to the judge saying, well, actually, we did lose a lot of money. And best of all, John J. Ray III, who is the current CEO of FTX, who took over after it collapsed, he weighed in and basically said, what is it? What are you talking about? You know, I think he said that when FTX collapsed, they had claimed that they had 100,000 BTC on hand. In actual fact, they had 105. I think it was. They were, you know, it was empty. And John Ray basically said, like, you know, it was a massive fraud. It is a massive fraud.
Yeah. And
yeah, if people are getting the dollar value of their crypto back, they've missed out on over a year now of gains. So they're not being made whole. They are, you know, it's good that they're getting money back. That is definitely a good thing.
Yes.
But yeah, this idea of them being made whole and everything being all right again is just absolute nonsense. So I personally think the judge will see through that. But let's see. So Polymarket is saying, wow, okay, so 5 to 10 years, a 1% chance. The big one seems to be 20 to 30 years or 30 to 40 years. So maybe 30 years?
Maybe. Let's see.
30 years.
And someone gave quite a good analogy on a blog post I was reading today, and they had said that it's the equivalent of, Sam Bankman-Fried's behavior is the equivalent of robbing a bank and then buying 5 lottery tickets, and one of those lottery tickets coming in successful, and then suddenly, oh, it's not such a big crime because, you know, you've leveled out the funds. And that argument has been amplified a little because we also saw this week that FTX struck a significant amount in deals for their shares in Anthropic.
Oh yeah, this is the AI company.
The AI company that did extremely well. So I think they put down a $500 million investment in 2021, and those shares skyrocketed in value to 1.4 million in 2023. So they've sold around $884 million worth in deals recently, some representatives in Abu Dhabi and different creditors, so they can also start to repay back their creditors.
Yeah. I think, you know, this idea of FTX creditors getting paid back, it's I mean, it does seem to have, a lot of progress seems to have been made on that front, but I think it could be one of these things that drags out for a very, very long time, because if you'll remember when John J. Ray III took over, you know, I think him and his team were sort of made a big deal of saying, you know, just what a mess it was. And I can only imagine that the last year has been, you know, pretty, a bit of a slog, kind of wading through all that mess and trying to piece together, trying to find where all these funds are. It does seem like they're making progress. But if Mt. Gox is anything to go by.
This is what I was just about to say. I really hope for anyone that has been using FTX that it's not a similar scenario to Mt. Gox, which is slowly news trickles over the years that creditors will start to get repaid. And we'll be keeping our fingers crossed for you.
Yeah. Okay, so that's FTX. What's next on the agenda?
Buying Bitcoin is cool. You already knew, but now publicly traded companies and publicly listed companies are branding themselves as buying Bitcoin in a bid to kind of have a corporate strategy as the cool, innovative companies. So Nielsen Resources submitted a letter of intent recently to acquire 24,800 Bitcoin, which is at today's price around $1.7 billion worth of Bitcoin. I know. Share the letter of intent.
Taylor-esque.
Isn't it just? And so people are wondering now the purpose and the intention of them doing so, because shares of Nila absolutely skyrocketed on the back of the news. The shares of the company went up 1,700% in a single week on the back of the news that they're looking to go all in on Bitcoin, to the point that the share price has actually been flagged as a public interest concern because of just how high they have gone up in price. So people are wondering now, do they actually plan on increasing and adding to their Bitcoin holdings? Is this just a kind of PR strategy that they're looking just to get a little bit of attention? We're talking about them now. Who knows?
It's working.
It's working. Are they kind of inspired by Michael Saylor himself? What this means going forward.
Yeah.
But it is very interesting, even the fact that this is causing an increase in share value for them.
Yeah.
It shows a real change in heart from, a few years ago, if companies were saying, we're going to add Bitcoin to our balance sheet, or we're going to add additional exposure to Bitcoin. If you were investing in that company, that would have been seen as a huge red flag. And how the times are changing.
Yeah. So this Nylam Resources is a gold company, isn't it?
Yeah.
A mining company or something like that. It's something to do with gold.
Tiny company. So they had, before this announcement, before the absolute skyrocketing of 1,700% in share price, the company had a previous market cap of under $5 million.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So how are they gonna afford all this Bitcoin then? Have they?
We have no idea. So we're not sure how it's going to go ahead and if it's going to go ahead. A lot of people are saying, guys, just ignore them. This is not going to go ahead. This is just a marketing PR strategy. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, should we both submit shall I submit a letter of intent to buy $1.7 billion worth of BTC? I'm happy to do it if it helps the market.
Let's do it. Let's both co-author it and sign it. Love from Jessica and Guy at Coin Bureau.
Guy and Jess at Coin Bureau. Dear whoever it may concern, we are planning to buy. This is our letter of intent. Still need to come up with $1.7 billion, but we do intend to do it.
Besides the point, it's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. Just watch the price of Bitcoin go up. This reminds me, I think it must have been the 2017 cycle when that iced tea company or something changed their name to put the word blockchain in their name. So it became like Long Island Blockchain or something like that.
I don't remember this.
And the stock went parabolic because blockchain was the big sort of buzzword at that point. And obviously they had no blockchain business at all. But it was enough to send it crazy. So this has vibes of that.
Yeah.
This is the new sort of put blockchain in your company name or business strategy or something. Just say, yeah, we're going to buy a whole load of Bitcoin, by the way. And oh, look at that. Our shares have gone crazy. So I'll believe it when I see it.
We do have a video coming out in just a few days about MicroStrategy and Big Bag Michael Saylor. And actually, it's really interesting to dive into just how much he has supported the Bitcoin ecosystem and how it will continue to go forward.
Yeah. He's
out here doing God's work. Not sure if these guys are, but we'll have to see.
Well,
be in the pudding.
We wish them well. I hope that they can. I hope that they can make good on those pretty outlandish promises. Okay, so we've talked about BlackRock and its RWAs. We've talked about this Nylam Resources supposedly buying gold. We've talked about Kucoin and FTX.
Maybe we can talk about the big Bitcoin whale, the 5th biggest Bitcoin whale.
Oh, yeah.
Not Wales, a country. Know what you guys are thinking?
Oh, too bad. Too bad. Yes, this is the 5th biggest BTC whale. Recently moved $6 billion worth of BTC to it moved just under 95,000 BTC to 3 new wallet addresses, and this BTC apparently hadn't moved since 2019.
Ooh.
Yeah. I always think when you see these huge BTC transactions, because there's that thing, you'd be checking the wallet address and then you'd be checking it again and again and again, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And so you don't want to be that person who sends billions of dollars worth of BTC to the wrong address and loses it forever. I mean, I kind of assume that this whale address must be some sort of
exchange.
Exchange or business of some sort. Country, perhaps.
Or country. It could be El Salvador paying off the IMF. Could be, wasn't there reports recently that, who was it? Someone on Twitter had predicted that one country has been buying up Bitcoin privately. Was that Zach
Oh, was it?
XBT?
No, might have been Jameson Lopp.
So I read somewhere someone had a theory, so nothing was confirmed, that a country had been buying up loads of BTC. That could be an interesting one.
Maybe it was Wales.
Maybe it was Wales. Maybe it was Tom Jones himself after watching the live stream. Can't be serious for a second, guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, that could be an interesting theory.
I think it could be Bhutan, because Bhutan, a tiny country in the Himalayas, but they have a state Bitcoin mining operation.
Oh.
They've got lots of hydropower there because they've got lots of waterfalls and stuff because they're a mountain country, and they've been mining BTC for apparently a few years now. And this only came to light in the Celsius bankruptcy filing.
Oh.
And it was something akin to their sovereign wealth fund had money with Celsius, had a crypto with Celsius, and was listed as a creditor. And some eagle-eyed person was sort of going through and was like, hang on, who's this? It's like, turns out, Bhutan. So maybe Bhutan is that big Bitcoin whale. Who knows? But it could also be, I mean, something like that since 2019. It could just be someone who's been sitting, some individual who's been sitting on it.
Yeah, an OG. Could be an exchange.
Yeah.
Could be one of you guys. And if it is, we do accept crypto tips.
Yeah. If it is one of you, let's find a QR code quickly.
Scan it.
Okay. Right. So that's so Bitcoin's on the move, or BTC is on the move. Should we talk about this Munchables hack?
Yes, I would love to hear about the Munchables hack.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an NFT game that's built on Base.
Okay.
And it got hacked recently for 17,400 ETH, worth over $62 million.
We're talking about a lot of millions and billions in the live stream today. It's making me feel a little poor. Just a little. Sorry.
We can't really say it was hacked for 0.5 ETH. That wouldn't be the same. So yeah, hacked for $62 million. And obviously sort of blockchain sleuths, the Zach XBTs and what have you, kind of got to work. And Zach XBT said that it turned out to be one of the devs. It turned out to be one of the Munchables devs who, according to Zach XBT, was a North Korean.
What?
So many questions. They apparently went by the pseudonym Werewolves0943.
Okay.
And yeah, Zach XBT was claiming that they're a North Korean dev who'd been hired, to work for Munchables. 8 hours later, they actually returned all the funds. Munchable, I know. I saw something on Twitter to that effect, sort of talking like, saying, how is anyone going to take us seriously when the latest hackers of something called Munchables?
Okay, so Munchables got hacked for 17,000 ETH by one of the devs that they'd hired that was based in North Korea.
Well, was North Korean, not necessarily based in North Korea. I'm not sure how Zach identified them as North Korean.
If he just said in the YouTube comments that he's from North Korea, also that could not be true.
That could be true. I mean, we've had that on our channel before. We've had people claiming to be from North Korea and then not. So
North Korean dev from North Korea hacked the money and then returned it 8 hours later.
Yeah.
Did he leave a little message like, haha?
I don't know. Veritas is saying in the comments, guys, North Korea has an entire department dedicated to hacking across the globe. It's a source of revenue. I know we did a video on Clips about it. Yeah. Oh God, well over a year ago now. It's fascinating. The Lazarus Group.
Yes.
There's a really good podcast called The Lazarus Group, or The Lazarus Heist, which I recommend listening to. It's all about those guys. It's fascinating. But yeah, what I'm curious about is, if they knew he was North Korean, why did they hire them? Because I'm not saying anything about North Koreans' abilities as developers. Just saying their reputation is kind of muddied by the fact that, well, like Veritas says, they have a state-sponsored hacking operation. They've stolen billions of dollars in crypto. And
you can't exactly send the bailiffs to North Korea to get the funds back
if
you don't hear anything.
Exactly.
I'm more curious why they sent the funds back 8 hours later. That's also very interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, this is something I think that happens, it does happen a lot with these hacks, that such a large amount of money gets stolen. And it's like, you know, you've then got this money, you've got these funds sitting in a wallet with people like Zach XBT watching them very closely. And I think these hackers are then sort of like, well, what do I do? Like, how am I going to move this around? Like, this is, it's a bit like, I think it's a bit like robbing a bank and then coming out with like so much cash that you can't really carry it. And you're like I'm stuck. So I'm kind of not all that surprised. I think probably it's just sort of like, they probably just reckon it's better to give it back before they catch me and lock me up.
Someone needs to give Zach XBT a Netflix show. It's like some of his findings just needs to be produced in book format or in visual, because he is just the Batman of Bitcoin and crypto. It's fascinating to watch the things he manages to uncover. Absolutely.
So I don't know how, like I say, I don't know how Zach XBT identified this dev as North Korean and whether they are North Korean or not. But it's a fascinating story. So that's Munchables, making crypto sound grown
delicious
up once again, and delicious. Okay, so Munchables. Let's talk about Solana.
Solana, yeah. So Solana has quite a few big kind of breakpoints this week when it comes to breakpoints. Is not a good word to use because that sounds like it's broken, not breakpoints.
Isn't that the name of their conference as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a good word to use. I don't know. Let's just leave that over in the corner. So for the first time ever, weekly Solana DEX volumes actually outpace Ethereum DEX volumes.
Wow.
Which is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Solana records 2 $20 billion volume weeks in a row. I think this is not really a big surprise when we look at the sheer amount of hype coming from Solana meme coins.
Yeah. It says an interesting thing as well about where the market is at the moment, because obviously we're sort of in this meme coin hype at the moment, but this isn't really this isn't a meme coin hype that's been driven by new retail, because these are Solana meme coins, and therefore you need the Phantom wallet, you need to be able to use Radium or Jupiter or whatever it is to use them. So you've got to kind of know what you're doing a little bit. So but we've got a Solana update video coming out very soon. In fact, later today, I believe. And we were looking into this, and I mean, downloads of the Phantom wallet have gone parabolic recently. So Solana has obviously captured this meme coin craze for the time being. So I mean, this is kind of big news that it's surpassed Ethereum on that DEX volume.
Yes, and I think 2024 will be a really significant year for possibly this shift. And this is why it's interesting also when we go back to the BlackRock play of launching this kind of tokenized fund on Ethereum. It's like, what's going to come out first, and what's going to come out as the stronger kind of competitor when it comes to volumes. So Solana validator fees, just to underline how significant an increase we've seen, have jumped significantly since February. So in February, we saw $313,000 in validator fees. That has jumped to 4.6 million.
Wow.
Validators on Solana are now making more money than Bitcoin miners.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's extraordinary. Well, there you go. So Solana validators having their investments validated. So running a validator on Solana is apparently not easy. Like I think it's pretty. You've got to stake a lot of Sol, but also I think you've got to have some pretty insane hardware as well. So they're obviously getting some return on their investment. Okay, so that's Solana update video coming on the main channel very soon, later on today, as I say, so keep a lookout for that. Should we talk about ICP? We haven't talked about Internet Computer for a long time, have we?
Let's talk about ICP, because ICP is up 73% this week.
Wow.
Huge. So let's talk about why.
Pumping.
Huge price surge after announcements that they're stepping into the AI sector with their AI smart contracts, AI intelligence smart contracts. So ICP has been in quite a unique position, actually, when it comes to what they're able to offer and what they're able to capitalize on, because they're looking at bridging AI and blockchain due to the pretty impressive tech stack that they do offer on ICP.
Yeah, ICP's tech is, I remember from the Internet Computer video we did 2 years ago, maybe more, ICP's tech is insane. It was so difficult to wrap our heads around that. Anyhow, sorry, I interrupted.
So, and Dominic Williams, who's the founder of ICP, has also spoken out and given just a little bit of context on what they're looking to scale and build. And this was where it really kind of sunk in for me, which is the plans for ICP smart contracts will be the ability to audit Ethereum smart contracts, kite marking those backdoors without reentry bugs, and smart contracts will soon be able to do KYC autonomously, matching faces to driver licenses and more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty functional.
Yes, absolutely.
That's interesting. I think that's because the issue of auditing smart contracts, I think when AI first sort of really started to become, or when people started talking about it, a year ago or more, however long it was, I think one of the sort of use cases for AI in crypto was going to be auditing smart contracts to, hopefully stop crappily, badly constructed ones being exploited. So yeah, that looks like that kind of being implemented on Internet Computer. Yeah.
So as we know, AI has been a huge buzzword over the last few weeks. We saw the NVIDIA conference. Was it last week?
Yes. Yeah.
Time is flying by, guys. Also, today is the first day of the ICP Hacker House, which is taking place. So we've got Biddle Asia Conference at the moment going on in South Korea, I believe. And we've got the VC House and ICP Hacker House taking place, where Dominic Williams is speaking today. Tomorrow. So that's also probably why there's a little bit of kind of hype around these things too. Always the days of conferences when they get developers and people within the communities together. That is also sometimes where you see a little bit of token movement.
So maybe there might be more ICP Internet Computer related announcements coming out of this Hacker House.
Absolutely. Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay. So that's Internet Computer. Fascinating project. I think we'll have to look into that, do another deep dive into that.
Well, I have reached out to the ICP guys to see if they want to join us for a Discord, because we are doing Discord AMAs. So that is something we are liaising on. If you have not yet joined the Coin Bureau Discord, I do recommend you to do so. We do have AMAs with C-levels, founders, and project executives of some pretty great projects. And I take requests too, and I'm open to suggestions from anyone on our lovely community. Also, it's a great way for people that are part of the Coin Bureau Club to ask some questions too. Yeah, they're really good, those Discord AMAs. Jess is great at kind of taking these questions and just firing them at these founders. It's a really good forum. We had ones with Sui recently, which I thought was great. There was a great one with Alex Dreyfus from Chili's. Babylon. You spoke to the Babylon guys not long ago. What's the next one coming up? So on the 20th of April, we have Peak will be joining us. And then we also have some other ones coming soon. You'll have to join the Discord to find out.
Okay. There's some suspicious activity.
And this is a surprise. Okay, so basically, for those that may not remember, I had a C4 Energy. Do you want to introduce what we're doing?
I ordered some 2 packs. I ordered 2 packs of C4 energy drinks to my apartment, and accidentally Amazon sent it to the office. Noob mistake. And I shared it with Jess this morning on Twitter. And then she posted a tweet that said that
if it gets 2 likes, then Guy will have to drink a whole can on air.
A whole can? I'm not drinking a whole can of that.
You may like the taste, mate. It's what's this flavor? This is grape frost. It's 0 sugar as well, so it's it's going to be good. Yeah, it's good for you.
What, 1,000% caffeine? Can I have a look at actually what's in this?
It's bull blood.
Total. So it hasn't carbonated water, kerosene, beta-alanine, L-citrulline, beta power, potassium sorbate.
Just the energy, man. It's good for you, man. You can stay up the whole night and watch the markets, and you can keep the live going forever.
We're going for the first ever 48-hour crypto live stream fueled by C4. All right, so I've got to taste some of this.
Yes.
I got a cup for you as well. There we go.
Oh,
everything's fine. This is fine.
You've got my coffee mug.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, while you're here, after you've tasted this amazing drink, we can play Guess the News Headline together. Where you and Guy can guess the news headlines that are coming up. Oh, this is what you weren't expecting.
I mean,
it's pretty good.
It's an interesting taste. It's not unpleasant. but I feel it's probably extremely bad for me.
Guess how many milligrams of caffeine it has inside?
2 billion?
200.
200.
It's more than Monster and Red Bull. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there goes what was once was going to be a perfectly good night's sleep. Thanks, guys.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
We just like to keep Guy awake and energized for you all.
Yeah, can't have me
Yeah.
doing lame boomer stuff like sleeping, can we? And Mind has asked us to just give a comment on the FET, AGIX, and Ocean merge. Did you guys see this? So this is 3 AI-related tokens. They
I saw
all
some
pumped
news about
on the news that speculation that the 3 projects might be merging.
Why would they all merge in one way? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know an awful lot more
Unless
about
it's
it.
a partnership
I
of
did see the
some
article.
description.
Yeah.
SingularityNet, Fetch AI, and Ocean Protocol are discussing merging the tokens.
Okay.
Well, we did have the SingularityNet guys on for an AMA, so maybe we can
Yes.
drop them a message, ask them, and then I can let you guys know for the Q&A. You're
Yeah.
recording in a few days.
Yeah. Okay. Suraj says it's a pre-workout drink. Oh God! So now I've got to do a workout.
Come on,
No,
man.
I don't want to
We
do a
have a
workout.
gym in the building. Come on.
Oh,
I'm
I
trying to
did
get
one this morning. All right. Okay. Right. So are we going to play? We're going to play. Guess the headline.
Yeah.
Is this something that people can play along with at home?
Absolutely. So guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to read you a headline, and then you can't click on it yet because it will give it away, and you all have to guess the missing words in the headline.
Can I share my screen
Yes.
so as they
do
can
that.
see it? Okay. Share screen.
We've got some good suggestions here. Four Loco. I'm guessing that's a pre-workout drink too.
For Loca.
Have you tried that?
No, I haven't. No. Where's it from?
I don't know.
The funniest I ever saw was Relentless, calling it a drink, just calling itself Relentless.
Relentless, yeah.
It's like, it just makes you relentless. Okay, so Jess, take it away.
Owning cryptocurrency may make you gap.
Owning cryptocurrency may make you more attractive to the opposite sex.
Well, there was a headline like that 2 years ago, actually.
Was there?
It's a scientific study that proves it. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
So
about time. I know.
Well, it depends what kind of market condition it's in, right?
Are these recent headlines?
No, this one I did take before you guys shared it on Instagram, actually. And then I was like, Drats, you guys have shared it.
Oh yeah.
Owning cryptocurrency may make you more desirable to the opposite sex
Okay, but
on the
this is-
dating scene.
On the dating scene? Okay,
This is
so I was right.
2020. What's this?
Yes.
When was this in 2022? Was this pre-Luna or pre-FTX?
Let's find on out. February the 3rd.
2022. So that's near all-time high. So obviously, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, after Luna and FTX, when you sit in there bankrupt, I don't think you still.
She's like, you idiot. You've been wasting.
Oh dear. Okay, so
Okay.
so we were right. I was right.
were right.
Basically.
Maybe it's a
Alright.
super energy drink. It makes you a little bit.
Yeah, makes me
Sharp
more
on your toes.
more intelligent.
All of the other ones have come out this week. Okay, so Vitalik Buterin takes a dig at Gap, calling it Gap.
Takes a dig at Solana, calling it shit. Probably.
I mean, are there many coins I could put into that wrapper? I'm afraid of. I'm
Maybe
afraid
it's
of
not a coin.
casting this.
Oh, okay. Vitalik Buterin takes a dig at Bhutan.
Should I uncover this one so it gives you a clue? Calling it a branding ploy. Takes a dig at something, calling it a branding ploy.
Okay.
Takes a dig at Singularity, Net, Fetch, and at their whole merge as a branding ploy. Because
This is just turning into a roast now, guys.
Yeah. Okay, what's he taking the dig at? I give up.
breakfast.
The metaverse. Calling it a branding ploy.
Wow.
That is true, though.
Talk about kicking something when it's down.
Next up, something and its crypto laundering schemes. Hyphen, a tail.
Something in its crypto laundering schemes. Maybe this is a country.
Pig butchering. I don't know. It's usually that scammer, that romantic scam, right?
Oh,
people
yeah.
are like, very popular in Asia.
Guy is more aligned. It's something that would probably upset me.
Wales.
Close.
Close to Wales? England? Tom Jones? What is it?
Scotland.
Scotland. Oh no.
What? not.
Wait, there's laundering going on in Scotland.
Scotland, and it's crypto laundering schemes. A tale.
Where's that headline from? I'd like to read that.
Crypto.
The Scots like to launder with crypto.
What are those? What are those kilt-wearing ne'er-do-wells
They
up
just
to
don't
now?
hold back. And also, a Scottish woman was the first woman recently to complete a triathlon that was seen as the world's hardest. So, I mean, they're just relentless nonstop.
Scots are also very good at the Willy Wonka Wonderland.
Oh, and the Willy Wonka Wonderland. If you guys know what we're talking about,
Glasgow.
Don't fade Scotland, in other words. Okay, what's the next headline?
Solana co-founder Anatoly tells the community to
Buy bonk.
Just do one and leave me alone.
Nick is more close here. Tells the community to stop investing in meme coin pre-sales.
Oh,
especially those that just go to an address and not a smart contract on Twitter, actually, and with devs that are burning the LP tokens.
Yeah, there's one born every minute. Okay, very good. What's the last one then?
Binance executives reportedly gap as one country files tax evasion charges.
Oh, I know this one.
They ran away, right?
So this is Nigeria.
They're basically the executive who ran out. He basically took his Kenyan passport and just like evaded capture.
Yeah.
He was planning to go to.
So Binance executive reportedly
dodges authorities or
escapes jail
Mm-hmm.
as Nigeria files tax evasion charges.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is that escapes detention?
Yeah.
There we
Pretty
are.
crazy news story.
That is crazy. Yeah.
That is
I was
wild.
like, I did not have Binance executive flees a prison in Nigeria on my 2024 bingo card for crypto.
Didn't they kind of lure him there? Didn't they say?
Yeah, that's
didn't
the worst
Nigeria
thing.
say
It's kind of like a really dick move, right? Kind of like, yeah, come over here, guys. We want to discuss with you. We want to talk about like Binance Nigeria. Then when you land at the airport, like, boom, now we got you.
Because Nigeria wanted Binance to dox all of their Nigerian users. So they flew over to try and sort things out, and
And they wanted a $10 billion fine.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, give us the fine. Otherwise, and the guy's probably sitting there in prison like $10 billion. I know Binance just got hit with another thing. Will they have $10 billion? Should I risk my life and just like just use my passport? And like,
I'm not sure work's going to bail me out of this.
It's like, I don't think it's going to happen, And
wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of shit because basically also he's British. One guy's a British and Kenyan, and the other guy's an American, and then this American guy actually he was an ex-decorated IRA in the IRS.
Yeah.
And he was the criminal investigator in the IRS. He was there for like 10, 15 years.
Oh, this was the guy who investigated Silk Road, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was basically he's sitting there languishing in Nigerian jail. There was no comments or anything from the White House. It's kind of shows you where crypto lands in their priority list. But yeah, it's pretty unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So let's see on that one.
Well, that was I think we should that story. I mean, I was aware of that story, but I didn't really sort of pay it the attention it deserves. But that is actually a really good story, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
prison break
from a Nigerian jail. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to look into that more. A few people pointing out in the comments as well. I'll just share my screen here so we can all enjoy this. But Bitcoin has broken past 71K.
Guys, it's the livestream
LFG.
trio indicator.
There
I'm
we go.
going to be honest.
It suddenly ticked up as Nick joined the live stream with a can of C4.
So I think that's going to be the indicator for the next time. The correlation between your C4 and the markets is positive. So let's keep pumping it.
Is this people drinking C4 along to the live stream going, whoa, yeah, let's pump it. So yeah, Bitcoin 71K, ETH still, well, even ETH is pumping as well. ETH 3.6. It's doing okay, folks.
Yeah,
it's
man.
doing okay. We're all going to make it.
I wonder what's going to happen on Monday because it's new ETF days and also April Fools.
April. Yes.
Is it April Fools?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you about to say we should do a prank and then
I was
realize
like,
we were on a live stream?
we were on a live stream.
We should prank.
No.
We should
We'll leave some
definitely
pranks.
not do an April Fool's
Remember that time we did an April Fool's Day prank 2 years ago, and
Yes.
you told people
Yeah.
there's this new coin that's launching, ticker SCAM,
Yeah.
and everyone was asking, where can I buy it? Where's it going to be listed? When is it launching? No, legit. It's like SCAM. That was
Yeah.
We're tokenizing guy.
Yeah, it stood. I can't remember what it stood for, but you know, secure compute augmented
machine or something
machine.
like
yeah,
the
and the
virtual
ticker was
machine.
scam. And we thought people would clock it, but instead people writing in say, I can't see it on Binance.
No, I don't think. Yeah. I mean,
Charles Benitez says, "Hi guys, sorry I'm a bit late." You are, Charles. You're an hour late, but we forgive you. In sum, BTC up or down? Thanks, bud. Well, up. 71K, sir.
Number go up. Money print to go floor.
It looks like ETF inflows are back. What we are waiting for is the return of these passive flows. If you saw our market update last week, you'll remember that this was the big thing that seemed to have taken the wind out of the sails of the last rally, was that passive flows from things like pension funds and other big institutions had stopped. I don't think they've necessarily resumed yet, but certainly there does seem to be money flowing into the ETFs again. And people talking about, you know, this is just the start. There's a lot more money still to come into these ETFs. So
retail still has to come in,
and retail's not
retail
even here.
brokerage platforms start offering it, then it's going to start flowing in.
Folks, we are still early. It's all
Still
good.
early.
It's all good. Hold on tight and enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, Sell Operas at Coin Bureau Clips. Can you talk about Cardano? We did. We were talking about Cardano at the top of the screen.
Did you?
At the top of the screen. Yes.
Oh, okay,
yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. Anything else, Nick, Jess, you want to add?
Have a great Easter to all you Easter bunnies out there.
Yeah.
If you want to see Guy dress up, do let us know in the comments.
What?
An Easter bunny, yeah.
Throwing me under the bus.
Put a tweet
First
out,
this
put a tweet.
C4, first making me drink caffeine after midday, and now dress up. If you'd like to see Jess dress up as the Easter bunny,
guy
or
you love to
Nick
dress
up
up
as Father Christmas, just let us know in the comments, and we'll make it
The
happen.
guy you love
We'll
to dress
make it
up,
happen.
man. You know you love to dress up. The amount of costumes we have from the old days, you love to dress up.
Sheikh Zula says, of course we do. Yes, of course you would like to see Jess dress up as the Easter bunny. All right, we'll work on it. Okay, the battery on my laptop is about to go, so I think we'll end it there. Folks, thank you so much for joining. It's been great to see you. Crypto going up, BTC above 71K. Anything more to add?
No. I'll
Cool.
find you guys.
Jess is on NFA tomorrow.
Yes.
So see you then. And we've got the Solana video coming out soon.
Soon, yeah, guys. Look forward to that.
Keep a lookout for that.
Pump it up.
Okay. Thanks, guys. See you next week, if
Cheers,
not
guys.
before. Okay.